pogled.vase, podcast za ljubitelje joge in osebne rasti. Hello and welcome to my first podcast episode in English. I always say how yoga is much more than just a physical practice, it's a lifestyle. As we work on ourselves and walk the spiritual path, sooner or later we realize how everything is connected. All the humans, all living beings, everything in this universe is connected. We realize our actions have consequences, and if we truly live the spiritual life, we want our actions to have a positive impact on other people, other beings, this planet. So we are really reducing the ones which have a negative impact. I'm not perfect, I'm far from perfect, and I'm just doing my best, and I know everyone else is doing the same. I'm doing my best at living a conscious life without harming anyone. I'm trying not to support anything that causes death or suffering. I try to reduce the harmful impact I have on this planet, and I'm also trying to spread the info so more people can do the same. I'm not living my life without ever hurting anyone. This is impossible. I'm also not reducing my waste to zero, but I'm reducing it significantly. And if everyone makes the effort and just does their best, this world could be a much better place. So yes, this is yoga as well. When I was thinking about how to present this topic in my podcast, I thought of Alejandra Ramos Rivera because she is an inspiration to me. If I ever think that zero waste life is hard, I think of her because she has been doing it very well despite all of the limitations and struggles that someone living in a small town at the Slovenian seaside can face. Dear Alejandra, thank you for joining me in this podcast episode. Tell us, who is Alejandra? What gets you up in the morning? What inspires you? What makes your heart sing?
Hello, Nusha. Well, I think it depends of when are you asking that, but since you're asking now, I think growth at the moment is the best. It's what inspires me a lot lately this year of a lot of changes, and yeah, I think growth on myself, and this is what makes me wake up in the morning and inspires me to be a better person so I can help more to this world.
You are a very active person in normal circumstances, especially with many interests. And I know you, and I know you make a huge effort to make this world a better place. And today I wanted to talk to you especially about one of those things, one of those efforts, which is the zero waste life. And if you could just explain, if there are some listeners who don't know what that means exactly, what does that mean, zero waste?
Yes, and I think we get the wrong definition all the time about what is a zero waste style of life because some people think that it's really not to do any waste in your life, but it's not like that. I think this is like quite impossible, even like doesn't matter your situation. So it's do the best that you can to do the least waste possible around your circumstances. So yeah, that in very short way, that will be like to do the best to have a style of life where where you reduce as much as possible your waste.
So, how does this zero waste life look like for you? And how has your life changed since you started with this lifestyle?
I think I started very radical. I will say I saw that it was possible, and I saw so many videos about people around the world joining the movement, and I have a wrong view of what it means. So I could tell you like the mistakes that I have done because I started this path, I will say 3 years ago, and I wanted to really do zero waste, like zero. So I think that one of the wrong perceptions that I had, it was that it has to look a certain way. So I got through that phase. Like, I think the first phase, it was like it has to look like this, like Instagram, like YouTube, and all of these influencers. So I did it. Like, I started buying things that it looks like zero waste on Instagram, which is not the point of zero waste. Like, you have already so many things at your home or in your location that you can use. So yeah, so it's a path of learning how to do. So it makes me more conscious. It makes me more aware of the impact that I have in the planet, in the environment. So yes, it has changed a lot my style of life. I think in the beginning it was very hard to adapt to this kind of change, to try to do as perfect as possible until it makes me very, sometimes it makes me very anxious, and sometimes because you cannot like depending of where are you living, depending of your situation, like how much you can do. And if you try to force it, if you try, it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and this is not the point of doing the best for this planet and the best that you can. So it has been a path of learning, not just about like information and practice, but also knowing more about myself, and a way of knowing the limits that I have, knowing what is the best for me, how I can help more to others and to myself. So I think this balance, it's something that also this style of life gave me, like to get to know my limits and to get to know what is the best for me and for others.
So if you could do it again from the beginning, you probably would go maybe slower, step by step, or what would you recommend to someone who is just starting with something like this? Because we know if we try to make a big change like that, it can be overwhelming.
Yes, it can be like overwhelming for sure, because we live in a world that is not meant to, like, it's not meant in that way. So I will suggest that you start slowly, but like depend on your possibilities. So for example, if like very basic things like not use plastic bags, but you know, like the situation we had last year, like it's a lot of waste around you, and this like, to me stressed me so much. But there are things that you cannot control, so focus on the things that you can control. Learn about try to, like, if you decide to do like better every day or change, you can express that to the people around you. So just express like why are you doing what are you doing, and there will be mistakes all the time and don't be so hard on yourself, don't be so hard on other people, because they are doing the best that they can with their conscious and the information that they have. So I will suggest, yeah, first, don't be so hard on yourself and to others. Second of all, start with what you can do. So step by step, like maybe one week you see what is your garbage, what is your waste, and then from then, what can you change? What can you replace? What are the groups in your location? You can have a support system, like depending where are you living. If you have people like that, they already went through this, they can help you, and this is very very useful. Like to have people that they can tell you, you can buy these things without waste here, or we can exchange this stuff. So yeah, like do the best that you can right now, and learn with the time. And yeah, I will say that, not because some people, like, it's very easy to say, oh, don't use plastic bottles, but there's people that they don't have any option. Like I'm from Mexico, and there are people, I cannot tell people don't use plastic bottle if there is the only way that they can have water. So I cannot tell you what you should do or don't do, but you know what which changes you can do to reduce the plastic, to recycle, to stop buying things that you don't need. So it really really depends, like of any, like every person. Yeah.
So instead of focusing on the zero in the zero waste, maybe we should focus more on reducing and reusing. Do you agree?
I like, it can be one path, but for example, if you realize that you are using a lot of plastic, I don't know, and in making parties, and you can use your dishes that you have at your place. In that way, you can completely omit this plastic. So it really depends on what are you talking about. So if you are talking about organic residues, then you can compost if it's possible for you, and then you can give back to the nature. So I won't say, oh, recycle is the best, because it's not true. Like, we know, like, just a really small percentage of plastic is recycled, or cans are recycled. So it's not the best solution. The best solution will be not use it. But as I say before, like, it depends. Like, if I buy like 10 plastic bottles, but I can do one instead of zero, that will be amazing. So it really, I cannot say what is the best. The optimal thing will be don't use anything, but this is not realistic. So yeah, what you can do, that will be the best.
Okay, so you mentioned it really depends on the area where you live and in the country that you live. You've been living here at the Slovenian seaside for 6 years now. Was it difficult here before? And I know now we have more options than there used to be, but was it difficult before? How did you handle that?
Yes, I think it was very difficult, because I didn't have there was not many options here, like, really to buy in bulk, and also it was very expensive. Still, there is quite of expensive to buy certain things without plastic, and you can make the decision if you can afford it or not. But of course, depends. Like, I had the opportunity to be in Australia for 3 months, and you can buy anything there without plastic, and it's awesome. Like, just to have tofu, to have everything, all the cereals and grains without plastic, it was awesome. And here, when I was in this phase of not use, like, zero plastic, I saw myself in a situation where I was eating very monotone food, and this, together with other stuff, go put me in a very difficult situation, like, personal situation. So yeah, yeah, it was very hard. It's getting better. It's improving. The most people are interested on that. The more uh, customer are asking for these things, it's changing. Yeah.
You are also vegan, and I want to know what is the connection between living a zero waste life and being vegan, because I notice that many people unfortunately don't see this connection, but also we can do a lot just by being vegan. We can do a lot for the planet as well.
Yes, I think they are completely, like, very connected, like, either way around. Like, if you are vegan because you care about the planet or your health or the animals, well, if you do less waste, less plastic in the oceans, etc., it will be beneficial for everyone, the planet, your health, everything. And if you care about the environment, like, going vegan, it will be like the best you could do, because all the emissions created by the industry, the animal industry, have a huge impact in the environment. So if you are contributing to this, it's very, like, it's completely related to the environment. So if you care about, I think if you care, the least that you can do is to stop using any animal products.
You mentioned at the beginning of this conversation that personal growth is very important to you. And I noticed that many times personal growth is perceived as something that we only do for ourselves, but actually it's not. It's really connected to other people, to other beings, and to the whole planet. How do you see this connection?
I think that spirituality nowadays it's seen the wrong way. Like, many people think that spirituality is connected with religion, which I don't see it like that, because it's mainly to understand that we are all together in this. Like, like, every being in this planet is connected. So if like if you understand that, if you understand that everything that you do has an impact in this planet, like not just in the environment, to the people, to the animals, then you try to do the best. You do the best that you can for yourself and for the others. So I completely think that a person that is connected with themselves and with the others, it's take care of it. So if you take care of your health, your mental health, your physical health, then you can see more deep this connection, and then you try to do the best to others, like people that you love, but people that are also that you don't have to love a person, or you don't have to love an animal to respect them. So it's I think it's everything connected with that you see this this connection between all of us.
So, by being the change that you want to see in the world, you're also probably experiencing the change around you. Have you noticed that this way of living, I'm talking about zero waste and veganism, has affected the people around you?
Yes, a lot. But also, I think more like I think in the beginning, in both way, both aspects, but also personal growth and everything. I think in when I make these big changes in my life, I wanted everybody like do these changes, because to me it's the right thing to do. And it's not that I changed that belief, but now I can accept that everybody's doing the best that they can with their conscience that they can. So I like the best thing that I can do for them is just give information and being an example. And yes, I have seen people going more into this zero waste path, into veganism, into personal growth, and I like it makes me very happy, like because I I know it's something better for them, something better for me. So I think that when I live in that way, to accept or to see this, to believe this good in every person, I think it makes me live better myself. And yeah, don't push people, but always I like to I like to get the message. So as much I can, I share things in the way that I do, in the way that are good for me, and this has impact to many people around me, and this is beneficial for them, is beneficial for me. And yeah, in the beginning it's not easy, because if you do a huge change in your life, it's like very scary for you and for others. So yeah, you need to be patient, and you need to accept this fact that not everybody will see the things as you see it. But with time, just give them time, and they will see how good it is for you, and they will like to do it as well. Yeah.
Do you know, if people want to start with this zero waste lifestyle, where do they get more information about it? Do you have any suggestions, maybe on social media or any portals, websites?
Yes, I mean, if in YouTube, for example, I follow one girl that her user is sustainable vegan, and I follow her for a long time, and she like helps me a lot with tips, with recipes, with. But I think nowadays, like, there are many information. So yeah, also I think in Slovenia there are like in social media some accounts. I think Zero Waste Slovenia. I think I have in Instagram. But yeah, I will suggest that. I will suggest to start following, even in Instagram or Facebook. Just put hashtag Zero Waste Slovenia or something like that, and you will come up with groups with some people. So it's good to surround from people that are doing similar changes. So yeah, I will suggest for sure that to follow accounts that will inspire you, that you can learn from it. And if you have a local group, for sure. If not, you can start it. And yeah, you can make events with them just to hang out or to exchange certain stuff. It's very useful. So yeah, I don't think there are like specific accounts, because depending of other topics that you are interested about, if you are interested about minimalism, if you are interested about veganism, like there are accounts, all of them have a relation with zero waste. So yeah, it's just hashtag zero waste and you will find many accounts.
And if they want to follow you,
You can follow me on Instagram. It's my username is vegana por el mundo uno, or I have now an Instagram account in Slovenia that is mexichanka. So you can follow me there, and I try to share my style of life and things that I'm passionate about. That is not just zero waste, veganism, minimalism, personal growth. As you say, I have like many things that I'm passionate about, and yeah, I try to share it from a place of how it is in real life. Sometimes it's hard, certain stuff, but mostly you learn from it. And yeah, that's the point, to grow together, to learn from each other. And yeah, I will be glad to see you there.
thank you so much. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for sharing all this information. And thank you for making this effort to make this world a better place. And thank you for this conversation.
Thank you to you, Nusha, also for all your work, and thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to spend some time with you.
Pogled.vase, podcast za ljubitelje joge in osebne rasti.